What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Weatherford, Texas, playing their disc golf course. 18 holes, par 56 for this layout, 6,600 feet. Hole 1, we're playing the long tees to the blue baskets, 334 feet. A little high, but taking the more straight at it approach. Not a lot of water in the creek, even though there's been a ton of rain. We're playing the creek as casual, but on some later holes we did find some like twine marking the OB. Grackle a little high. Retail shaping nicely, getting over there safe. Going Diamondback here. That is headed straight to the basket. It's a little bit hidden behind the trees, but that is everything I wanted. You could also throw straight off the tee and then, have this looking shot, but a little bit further. Did some warm-up throws. I did not do any warm-up putts, so that's my excuse. On to hole 2, 411 feet. You do have the property line deep at the basket. Got a couple of different shot shapes here. I'm going with the Diamondback again, though, just playing that kind of force over, knowing it's going to come back. Lots of low ceiling shots on this course. And not short holes, so that's the challenge here, is you've got a fair amount of low ceiling and some distance, so you really got to get your nose angle pretty much just right. And this basket is in those trees. That was a great upshot from Justin. Sailed it a little bit. Not too bad, though. Yeah, if you're on the wrong side of this basket, you definitely won't have a putt, so your upshot is really critical. On to hole 3, 374 feet. And this hole does have a mando. You got to stay left of the tree with that blue sign. There's lots of mandos on this course. And they're really all for safety. I didn't think any of them were just to make the hole harder at all. It's a pretty packed in. The holes are packed in pretty tight for the property, so definitely good to have those mandos. A little high for me. Just a little off from Justin. He did not miss the mando yet, and then he pitched across the fairway to here. And the basket is that direction, but a little to the right. Going a little pitch up with my foreclaw. Not what I wanted. Still a little more than I wanted after the first couple of holes, how the putting went, but able to get par. Hole 4, 333 feet. Does not look like it on camera, but this one is uphill pretty much the whole way. Just threw that Athena pretty much into the ground.
Good save.
Threw it too low. Going 4-claw upshot again. Pretty happy with that. And there is a second tree behind that tree that I tagged. Left me outside the circle. So I don't know if there was an event here recently, but all of the Circle 1 whiskers were out, which was really nice. Lots of plane action flying over the course today. You'll hear it a couple of times. Hole 5, 394 feet. This tee pad is aiming pretty much right at the basket, but all the airspace is over there. We did have a right to left wind, which Got a hold of that free tail. Jackalope, just giving it some height. And that's in play for sure. Nice up from Justin. There's a lot of this going on for me today. Just kind of those 100, 120 footers that you aren't running, but you just need to get them close. 307 feet for hole 6 here. There is a Mando in play, but that tee they're walking off was super close to the Mando. So even if you made the Mando and you hit a different tree, you could probably kick towards them. So give it a wait. Going grackle here. I think that one tree was just blocking it, but I hit 2 different trees and kept bouncing out to the right. Really lucky. And yeah, the basket's right back there, and it is on the edge of, not a cliff, but like a steep little roll that takes you down to the water, so I really wanted none of that. Even though it's just a casual round, it's fun to not take big numbers. Yeah, decent rollaway potential there. Hole 7, 256 feet. It's like the first must-get feeling hole so far. Justin's going MD3 here. Showing the top of it to the wind, helping it hold that turn. In the middle of the circle. I'm gonna try and match it with a hex, and I just turned it over a little bit too much. Deep in circle 2. Trying to give it a chance, but that is not my forte. Good 2 from Justin there. Hole 8, 448 feet. I'm actually going to play this hole twice, and you'll see what I mean in a moment here. You pretty much just have this power pole to contend with. You decide if you want to go on the right side or the left side. And there is an elevated pin down there. That is not the one we're playing to. This is my wave. A little too much turn. Should have thrown it with some hyzer. Lost a lot of distance there. And then I'm going Big Z Zeus. This is my shiggle to the short pin. Because I just think this short pin is a really cool pin position. So I wanted to play it. This is my upshot to the actual pin position. Just kind of spinning a 4-clop there. Left a little meat on the bone. And here's my shiggle to the short. And didn't even give it a chance, but this one is the one that actually counts. Didn't give that one a chance either, so hooray. Hole 9, 277 feet. You really just don't want to throw it too straight or early release because this low-hanging branch is in the way. That was flirting with disaster. It's PD, but he missed the tree branches and it hooks up. I'm going goat. And that's what you don't want to do. But luckily this hole is pretty straightforward still. Got a little bit of awkward footing because I'm on the wash for the creek, so I'm going to have to go stand still, like 280 feet. Going bobcat. And yeah, 280 to 300 feet is about perfect for a bobcat. Full rip. It's going to run out of steam around there, so I'm always looking to have that kind of shot. Hole 10, 547 feet. This is our only par 4, I think. The basket is around the left edge of that tree line, so really you just don't want to end up too far to the right. There is a window through there, but being left is better for sure. And this is my more stable Zeus. It's pretty old though, so it just flipped way too much, and you're gonna get to see the window that I was talking about. Justin going Bobcat forehand. Just snuck around that stuff. So yeah, the basket is just on the left side, or just to the left of the right side of this window here. Try and just gently throw something in there, the bullet, and there's a left to right wind right now, so pretty touchy. Probably should have thrown a forehand, but I'm more confident in my backhand for sure. And it slopes down behind the basket, so I gave it a pretty soft bid just to get a par. Hole 11, par 3, 426 feet. You do have a Mando you need to go to the left of. It's actually the downed tree up here. Part of it's still standing. So I'm going Mustang, high turnover. Risky play with the Mando, but Justin going much lower. And this is what I was nervous about, because we thought there was a bunch of standing water in those bushes, but there wasn't. I'm going zone, hanging it out wide. Actually flew over another tee pad and should be out of bounds, but we didn't realize it. There is twine down there though, but since it's a casual round, getting away with it. But if there were people on that other hole, I would have had to wait for them to clear it to be able to play it that way. Hole 12, 312 feet. This is the tee pad I just threw over, actually. Justin,
Yeah, buddy.
there was not a line there, but he found it. I'm also going jackalope, but I don't want to flirt with the trees like he did. A little too high though, so it got to the right side of the pin. Hole 13, 353 feet. Downhill, almost the same shot, but really you should just throw it straight. I think this is what this hole baits you into doing, is playing too much of a turnover. When we were down there, I was like, I should have just thrown something straight, because you can get into the circle pretty well that way. This, though, is what I was trying to do.
I don't even need to throw a shiggle.
That's the free tail from Justin, and that's sweet. Going forehand with a bullet. Getting lucky through a little notch in the tree. Stump catching Justin's putt. Hole 14, 409 feet. Probably the hardest hole, just because of this gap. It's pretty intimidating, at least to me, but putting my wave out there, trusting that it's going to turn. The basket is under that nice oak tree in the middle of the gap on the right side.
Over.
Little left, but he'll have a hyzer into the green. It's not a bad play at all. You just need to make it out that gap, and then you'll have options. Splashing out the left side. I thought that was going in. Hole 15, 322 feet. This is a toughie. It's not super far, but it is a low ceiling. We had a left to right headwind, more left to right than headwind, but with that street and the cars, it was a little bit nervy. So I'm throwing my grackle here nice and low. Got a fair amount of ground play. About pin high though.
That'll work.
That thing fought pretty nicely.
Yeah.
About 100 feet out. And the wire, like property line on the right side of the fairway, as soon as it passes the basket, it actually comes in towards the basket. So there's about 15 feet of safety behind the basket from here. Yeah, like that almost rolled OB. Hole 16, 347 feet. There's a bunch of holes on this course where the tee pad doesn't point towards the basket, and it kind of forces you to look for different lines. This is the big gap. Justin just put a little too much oomph on that forehand, but it's pretty safe. I'm actually going to run up diagonal on this tee pad. There is a Mando on the right that you have to stay left of, but I'm just going to throw a mid-range turnover because that's where the basket is. It's a smaller gap than that forehand gap, though. It's in that grove of trees that Justin's pitching up to. It just bounced past the basket. So yeah, almost got into the circle with that smaller gap that I threw. Definite roll-away potential on this green. So I would have loved to make that, but I was very happy to drop flat down. Hole 17, 354 feet uphill, low ceiling. Very happy with the turn that I put on that, but it was just too high. Caught some cabbage and
Almost good.
dropped down and rolled a bit to the right.
Get off it.
This is looking good, and it just couldn't get away from that tree. Don't really know what I was thinking here. I was getting cute with a glitch. I should have just thrown that same throw with a zone. Maybe even thrown a putter upside down and just played the scoot to get close to the basket. But luckily I made the putt. Hole 18, 460 feet. Oh, another par 4. Basically, it's about 280 feet and then to the right, and then you're in the fairway. So I'm throwing jackalope. Now it's flying down the fairway. A little too much angle, though, and it cut rolls backwards. But pretty much you just need to get into position, and then you're looking down this gorgeous fairway. Well, almost. So right now, the parking lot is framed back there, but the fairway is on the left gap. Right there.
Yeah.
That was a great upshot. It's short off the tee, but that makes up for it for sure. So here's where I ended up cut rolling to, about 250 feet off of the tee. And it frames this nice little fairway.
It looks like you could butt it up.
Just going to have a 220-ish foot, putter upshot to finish out the round. I'd say this course drains pretty well. There was a lot of standing water that wasn't there the week before. We got a bunch of rain in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I'm sure Weatherford got a bunch of rain this week as well. So definitely go check out Weatherford. Definitely download UDisc. I would say it'd be pretty confusing to navigate. There's just a lot of tees that are close to each other that point in different directions, and the longs don't have T signs, only the regulars have T signs, and the shorts don't have T signs. So definitely download UDisc in order to navigate it. Hey, finally making putts at the end of the round. Yeah, check it out. Let me know how you like it. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you out there. Here's some of my shiggles on hole 18, just practicing this distance. Peace out.
This is where I like to do the forehand with the stone. Try that with the fork. See if I can do it standstill. I tried to do like a stop flexi, and that thing's just not as